And it's going. All right. Hello. I am Daniela Martinez Guzman, and I am the creator of Holistic Womb Art. Everything that I represent through Holistic Womb Art and everything that I am deeply passionate about can be traced back to the common thread of womb wellness. Okay, all my offerings, services, products, etc., are rooted in womb wellness. They are rooted in supporting you and your relationship with your womb. Okay, supporting you in being able to live in harmony with your yoni. Okay, so today's video will be about how to create a Yoni Steam setup in the comfort of your own home. I have 7-ish options that I'll be sharing with you. If you have any more questions about it at the end of this, you can send me a message, but know that I did create a blog with photos and more details perhaps about each method that I'll be covering today. Okay, so first of all, Yoni steaming, what is it? It goes by a lot of different names. Just a few of them are womb steaming, tsunami steaming, pelvic steaming, vaginal steaming, deep steaming, bajos. Those are just a few that I know. Okay, there's obviously lots of different languages that Yoni steaming is a part of, cultures. So I invite you to dive into figuring out any other names that might be connected to your specific lineage. But in essence, it's all the same practice of sitting over a pot of steaming hot water, oftentimes including herbs, and the intention is to have it steam the yoni. Okay, the yoni being the female reproductive organ space. Okay, we're talking about vagina, fallopian tubes, ovaries, uterus, cervix, everything in between. Okay, and it's a practice to support the physical, emotional, spiritual, and energetic well-being of this space. Okay, so that's yoni steaming in a nutshell. Okay, just so you know what we're talking about today. It's an ancient practice. I didn't make it up. My friends didn't just make it up. It's just an old practice that can be traced back to many lineages around the world by various communities and different women that all somehow managed to figure out that steaming water, herbs is beneficial to bringing our womb into balance and harmony and making sure that it stays in that harmonious state. So all we're doing is reconnecting with the wisdom of the woman before us. All right. So there's a few different options. Let's start walking through them. Number one includes the use of a pot like so. Notice this pot is completely metal all the way through. It is not lined with any sort of non-stick soap stuff that they use nowadays. If you have one of those, avoid using that one because then you don't want to steam that into your yoni space, right? So get yourself a full metal pot. So place your water in here and your herbs. Herbs are available on my website. So you can go there, Holistic Womb Art, to figure out herbs. This method includes boiling up your water and your herbs. Once it's ready, place it on the ground somewhere where it's okay to put a hot pot, and then you'll kneel above it. Okay, so you of course have to be careful not to burn yourself on the sides of it or anything. You know, sometimes you can pat it with a towel around. This is extra protection for your knees. And then you just kneel over it. You can kind of lean forward while you do your two, or just kneel above it, okay? So that's one really easy, simple way. Most people have a pot and a bathroom that you can find some privacy in, okay? It's, you know, simple, and it just makes the practice accessible, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring this ancient practice that has been put down and silenced for a long time, and trying to bring it into the spotlight and making it really accessible in your own home. So the pot is one way to do it. You can also grab that pot and use it in combination with the squatty potty. I've heard people do that. If you do the squatty potty method, I encourage you to line that plastic squatty potty with a towel or blanket or something, so that you don't end up steaming the plastic and thus plastic fumes into your yoni. Okay? So that's one way you can get creative with it. Another way is using one of those nifty yoga inversion chairs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. But yeah, they're just these yoga helpers, or these chairs, and they have a space for you to put your head in and then go upside down, right? A headstand or a handstand. It's a headstand. The shoulder stand, actually. So you can use one of those, because obviously the space that's cut out for your head is conveniently placed for you to actually let steam rise up into your yoni space. So that's another option, okay? Option number 3, I believe, includes the use of a 5-gallon bucket, okay? You find yourself a very sacred 5-gallon bucket. And it's sacred because you're going to treat it as such. And it's literally any 5-gallon bucket that you would find at any hardware store. I'll show you. Okay? There you go, 5-gallon bucket. Then you grab a blanket or a towel and place it on the inside to line the inside of your bucket. That way, when you place the hot bowl of herbs and water, it doesn't actually touch the plastic, and you have this as a barrier between the hot bowl and your yoni, okay? And then, of course, for extra flair and pizzazz, you're gonna grab a beautiful skirt that you enjoy, or a pareo, or some sort of fabric, and place it around your bucket. Totally optional. The steam will work regardless. And then boil up your hot water, put a glass bowl at the bottom of this bucket, and then pour your herbs into there, okay? And then the last step that makes this really comfortable is using a towel folded up hot dog style works best, okay? So folding it hot dog style, and then let's show you guys, let's try to get you a good angle. Well, you'll go around the borders of your bucket and cushion it with a towel. And now it's cushioned so that you're not sitting on the hardness of the bucket. And then there's a hole for your yoni to be steamed, okay? So that's really easy option. All you have to really acquire is a 5-gallon bucket and a bowl, okay? About the bowl real quick that you would use, I encourage you to find a glass bowl. Glass is my favorite. Glass is the least porous, so it will not be absorbing germs along the way, and it also will not be melting any fumes into your yoni space, okay? So avoid plastic bowls, any type of plastic bowls, just don't use them. Metal can be okay. However, I find that the metal bowl itself, if you put it in there and try to sit over it, it's really hot for a long time, longer than the glass bowl. And I don't mean in a good way. It's like there's no steam, but the bowl is still hot. So, you know, there's that. But you can play around. That's what this is about, is really exploring this practice for yourself and figuring out what works best for you. Okay? So glass bowl, metal bowl, earthenware, which is a kind of pottery that's just not glazed with anything. Yeah, ikumi aloha. Yeah, so that again, we want to keep our bowl as simple as possible so that we don't accidentally steam any fumes, any toxic fumes into our yoni. So sometimes certain ceramics are glazed with certain things that might be toxic and we just don't even know it. So the simpler it is, then the simpler it stays, okay? So I showed you the bucket form. That's one of my favorite ways to do this, okay? Well, one of my favorite simple ways to do it. One other way, which was actually the first way I ever practiced, was finding yourself a random chair, okay? Trying to get there, okay? This chair I found on the side of the road. It was bulky pickup week in the neighborhood. And I found this beautiful car chair, okay? Someone had thrown it away. Well, probably because it was peeling and chipping. There was a seat on here. I ripped it off. And this was this little kind of woven material. And I cut that out. And then next, I got a chair with a hole in it now. All you gotta do is place a skirt, fabric, something around it to encapsulate the seam. And then, just like we did with the bucket, grab a towel and go around your chair to cushion it, okay? Spend more time than I just did to pull that off so it actually stays in place. But the idea is to help make it and keep it comfortable for you, okay? So find yourself a random chair on bulky pickup, go to Goodwill, go to the thrift shop. Maybe you already have a chair that you don't mind ripping up and making a hole into it. Maybe your neighbor, maybe your parent. Find yourself an extra random chair and turn it into your own, okay? Getting creative, figuring out a way to make a hole in it. My least favorite way, but in the spirit of offering you all your options, I don't have a visual for it here, but you can in fact use your toilet to steam. Obviously, well, to me that doesn't sound very enticing. However, it's an option. So how do you pull off turning your Yoni Steam throne out of your toilet? Well, first of all, please wash it really, really well, like disinfect it, cleanse it as much as you can so that it can in fact be the healing throne for your Yoni. And then you'll find yourself a bowl, glass or metal, that fits inside your toilet seat. The trick is you have to make sure that the lid of your toilet closes perfectly as it normally would, just to avoid breaking your glass bowl. Imagine if your glass bowl is too big and it is taller than your actual toilet seat bowl, your toilet seat could actually crack that glass bowl when you sit on it, okay? So that's why make sure it's a perfect fitting bowl. And then, yeah, voila, put your hot water and herbs in, sit down, enjoy your steam. There you go. All right, so that was the toilet method. Let's recap. Let's see, I did the pot method that you kneel over. I did the 5-gallon bucket. I shared with you how to turn a random chair into your throne, your steamy throne, how to use a yoga inversion chair, the toilet. Awesome. I got 2 more options for you. These are options that I create out of wood here in my garden / workshop. So this is one Yoni Steam seat that I make. This particular shape is the only one I've ever made like this. That's because it fit perfectly over my heart chair. So I went from using it as a random hole chair to using it with an actual seat cover, okay? From there, I've gone on to make these different shapes that can fit on a chair. They can fit on a 5-gallon bucket, like I showed you earlier. And these are really thin, okay? Okay. 3/4 of an inch is what that is, okay? This one in particular is birchwood. Untreated birchwood. I keep it simple. Like I said, the least chemicals or whatnot that are in it just helps everything stay nice and healthy and pure for our Yoni steaming. And then I place these little knobs on the bottom, and that just helps keep the seat in place when you are sitting and readjusting yourself, right? Just a little safety measure. So it's really lightweight. It goes real easily in your backpack. I have traveled with it to the US mainland, long flights. And that way your Yoni Steam practice remains uninterrupted no matter where you go. Okay, so that's that one. And then I did not bring my other option, but it's pretty much the same concept. And instead of an oval, it's a circle. But I do cut out a circle in the middle too. Okay, so there's those two options for Yoni Steam top slabs. And then the last option I have for you on how you can Yoni Steam is another option that I create. It's a stool, okay? The stool is made out of maple wood, okay? This part is all maple wood. It is thicker, okay? This is, I don't remember off the top of my head at the moment, but it's much thicker than the first one I mentioned. And then it's got legs that easily screw off and on, okay? That is so that it is easy to put away and it doesn't have to constantly be hanging out in your living room or otherwise. It's also really easy to travel with, okay? I've also traveled with this one to the US mainland and it fit in my backpack. It was a medium-sized backpack. TSA had some questions. They weren't sure what was going on. I explained. They still seemed confused, but they were fine with it. Their main concern was actually just the tip of the screw that screws on. They're like, what is this? I said, oh, well, that's just to screw it on to the stool. Goes, oh, okay. so there's that. Travel friendly, storage friendly, pretty light. And this one actually invites you to be able to steam with a hot plate underneath. I'm not going to go into details about that type of practice here, but just know it's an option. Made feasible through the stool. Okay. Yoni Steam stool. Okay. That's it. Okay, those are the 7 options I have for you on how you can create your own Yoni Steam practice at home on your own time, whenever you need it. That's really a big part of this work, is bringing it to the forefront of every woman's consciousness and common knowledge, okay? Because it's a simple tool that the women of everyone's lineage really practice. I mean, truly, you start looking into it and it's fascinating how many different cultures and communities worldwide found a way to steam their yonis. And I just want to make this simple, accessible, demystify the practice, and bring this empowering tool into as many people's lives as possible, so that it is in your hands, so that your health is in your hands, okay? The tool is in your hands. Your health, your womb wellness, all in your hands, within your grasp. You're the professional. You are the expert. You are the wisest person for your own body. So that's what I'm inviting you into. Okay, so that is the video for today. Again, I am Daniela Martinez Guzman with Holistic Womb Arts. That is my website, that's my Instagram, that's my Facebook. Holistic Womb Arts is where you'll find all the details on all these things. And if you have any questions, please reach out. I obviously love to talk about all things womb wellness all day long. So please help me carry on these conversations. Reach out with questions or thoughts on any platform. I'd love to hear from you, truly. All right. I appreciate you guys all so much. I hope you have a sweet, blessed day, evening, wherever you are. Aloha.